Welcome to our talk on Oxbridge Applications. Thank you so much for joining us. Oxford and Cambridge are two of the world's most prestigious and competitive universities. William Clarence offers expert advice and guidance on the entire application process, giving students the benefit and experience and up-to-date knowledge that we possess. We work with hundreds of families from around the world every year, and last year had an 85% success rate for our Oxbridge applications. So how can we help you? Before I introduce you to Rebecca Darbiggen, one of our leading experts on Oxbridge applications, I'm just going to outline briefly how we would work with you. We have an initial consultation with a student and their family to get academic background, extracurricular interests, everything we need to know about a family and a student, what they're aiming for, what they're hoping to study. After the consultation, we'll come back to you speedily with a report, and then we start work. We'll take you through the whole process, from the mentoring to the personal statement, college choice, interview preparation, and any other bits and pieces that need doing. We'll work with you. So I'm going to introduce Rebecca, who'll give you a far more detailed overview of the process. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Diana. So it really is always a pleasure to work with and tutor Oxbridge candidates. Across the last decade, I've had the privilege of working with students from all over the world who have brought with them an amazing range of backgrounds and interests. In addition to being, of course, very academically able, students have been passionate about their chosen subject, curious, engaged, innovative, and that's why I very much enjoy working with them. So as you noted, Diana, Cambridge and Oxford are recognised as offering two of the best educations in the world, and competition for places to study at undergraduate level is understandably incredibly high. Students do come from all over the world to study there. So on average, just to provide some statistics, Oxford, as you can see, receives over 20,000 applications for approximately 3,250 places each year. And to present that in slightly a different way, Cambridge receives approximately 5 applications per place. So roughly, if you're looking across the board, that's 6 applications per place. So students apply to study at Cambridge and Oxford in the same way, whether they are international or domestic students. As with other UK applications, students apply via the Universities and Colleges Admissions Service, which we commonly abbreviate to UCAS. Of course, students who do apply to either Cambridge or Oxford, and we should be clear that that is in most cases a very much either or choice. A student can't typically apply to both. However, they are able to apply to 4 other universities via the same portal. So there are a few steps that are indeed additional to those of a standard UCAS application. And the first difference is the UCAS deadline. So for Oxbridge applications, submission must be completed between early September and mid-October, 1 year before a student's course is due to start. This year, for example, entry into 2021, the deadline is October the 15th, 2020. So how do we approach Oxbridge applications and how can we help? So let's have a look at that process in a bit more detail. So the first thing we will do when we meet any new student is complete a very thorough review of their academic and extracurricular activities to assess the feasibility of them making a competitive application. As I said, we work with students from all over the world, and as such we are extremely adept at assessing a student's academic qualifications. If there is any ambiguity surrounding whether or not a student's academic grades meet requirements, we do frequently communicate with the admissions teams at Oxford and Cambridge in order that we are providing accurate and thorough checks before proceeding. So the first thing I would say is take your time. We start early so that we can take time. Students should explore their options. Even if they think they know what they would like to study, they might be surprised. I worked with a wonderful student last year who, when she initially came to us, she was very set on studying physics. But when together we explored the natural sciences course at Cambridge, it was very clear that embarking on a more broad-based course was perfect for her. And we were very, very thrilled when she was offered a place. So do explore those options. When deciding on a course, we do make sure that you have met or that you are on target to meet the admissions requirements for that course. This links back to what I said about reviewing of academic profiles. So all courses do require specific grades at A level or equivalent, and some courses require those to be in given subjects. So do check carefully, and we do that. We do make sure you are eligible. The key really is to choose a subject for which you are passionate, and choosing a course that inspires you. So once a course has been selected, and thereby a choice has been made between Cambridge and Oxford, the next thing to do is choose a college. So the collegiate system is one of the many distinctive and special features of student life at Cambridge and Oxford. A college provides support, facilities, and essentially a membership really of a friendly, stimulating academic community. It's also a very valuable source of pastoral support. So although a student's academic studies are directed by their department or faculty, the college does allocate a tutor or director of studies who will oversee academic progress. So again, something that we do is ensure that the college you are considering offers your subject and is open to students of your age. Some colleges do admit only mature students, for example. I've had the pleasure of working with several mature students who I know have gone on to very much appreciate the community within their college. So students can choose to pick a college, or they can make what's termed an open application, which is essentially stating that you have no given preference. A very common question that I'm asked, and I've been asked multiple times this year, is whether making an open application puts a student at a disadvantage. And I would say absolutely not. If you make an open application, you're simply stating you have no preference and you are just assigned a college for interview. Please do keep in mind as well that even if you do specify a college, you may still be pooled to another for interview. So moving on to the application itself, the most important element of which, and the most probably feared element of which, is the personal statement. There's nothing to be fearful about. We provide our students with comprehensive guidance on drafting their personal statement. I spend a lot of time reviewing iterations, providing practical feedback and very detailed guidance. We always seek to support a student's own work in order to ensure that every personal statement represents a student in the best possible light. So the initial piece of advice I always give really is personal statements do take longer than you think. So do start early and always be honest. The statement is, of course, an opportunity to showcase both your aptitude and passion, but integrity is key. So I've put down a few key questions here that you might like to consider. Why have I chosen this course? What will make me a good student or a good candidate? And how can I really evidence that? Is what I'm studying now relevant? Have I explored my chosen field outside of classroom studies? What skills have I gained in my extracurricular activities? And to help students with this, we really do mentor and support within a chosen field. So we encourage students to explore their field, allowing them to develop a very unique angle to their application, ensuring that they do stand out. I like to identify students' particular areas of interest before embarking on a wider reading programme that really deepens their knowledge, but provides them with a very clear point of focus for their personal statement. And all of this mentoring and extra reading does really prepare students well for the interview as well, which I will move on to talk about in a moment. So once the UCAS application has been submitted, there may be some additional steps to consider. For many courses, students are required to sit an admissions test. I'm currently tutoring a number of students for the Oxford TSA, which is the Thinking Skills Assessment. And I must say I'm having a very good time. We look at lots of questions that are hugely interesting, from should children strike to demand action on climate change to is reducing inequality a good thing? And students and I, we really do have a great debate, and it is a joy always to see our students engaging in their preparation, improving week on week, as we really do encourage that independence and originality of thought. So that's a part of the process that's to be really looked forward to. So we can, where necessary, provide a tutor who has expert knowledge of the relevant test if we feel that a student would benefit from that extra level of supervision. We of course remind students to register for the test, but the deadline is the same as the UCAS submission deadline. The main thing to note really about the tests is not to panic. They are designed to be challenging, so please don't worry if you find that to be the case. As I've noted here, some colleges and courses do require students submit a sample of written work, but really that should have formed part of the body of work completed for a school or college course, and does need to be teacher assessed. So on to the all-important Oxbridge interview. Interviews take place in December, following the October submission of the UCAS form. And the thing really to remember on approaching an interview is that they are simply designed to allow the universities to select candidates who are most likely to benefit from the methods of teaching employed at the universities. So both Cambridge and Oxford, they utilise a system of small group teaching, the supervision system at Cambridge and a tutorial system at Oxford respectively. And the interview process almost holds a mirror up to those systems. They are small debate discussion sessions, just to engage students within their subject. So every year I conduct many mock interviews, and mainly we focus on building a student's confidence so that the process on the day is by no means a surprise. All of the interview prep undertaken by William Clarence is undertaken by expert tutors and consultants who are familiar with the requirements of the interview and experts in their own field. So they are capable of drawing out what the universities are looking for. Of course, all students will have academic potential, but we really do support that idea that Oxford and Cambridge are looking for independent thinkers. We encourage students to engage in new and original ideas. So again, that's a really enjoyable part of our preparation. So once the interview has been completed, students can relax and wait to find out if they've received an offer in the January. So unless students have completed their exams prior, offers are likely to be conditional, and this means that the offer will be confirmed when A-level results are released or equivalent. So at every stage, I think the main thing to highlight is that the admissions process is there to allow universities to make informed decisions as to whether to offer a student a place. Admissions panels, they really do look forward to meeting students every year. So it should really be an enjoyable, engaging process preparing for every aspect of the programme. So I think really all that's left for me to say is if you are thinking of applying to Oxbridge this year, I wish you all the very best and perhaps look forward to meeting and supporting you through the process. So Diana, I will hand back to you.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, for that really informative and interesting sort of guide and walk through the process. I hope that you find it useful. If William Clarence can help you in any way, we'd be delighted to do so. Thank you very much.